Hey, what's up guys? My name's Philip and today we're going to be doing a oil solenoid bypass delete kit on the 2026 Nissan Z. To begin with, I'm sure the main question is, hey, what the hell is an oil solenoid bypass and why do we want to delete it? In the Nissan Z, oil is pulled from the sump by a variable rate oil pump and then passes through the oil filter before being distributed to the engine, where it lubricates the main and rod bearings as well as the twin turbochargers. After lubrication, oil is drained back into the sump and the cycle repeats. However, in the Nissan Z, oil is pulled from the variable rate oil pump and then encounters the oil bypass solenoid valve. There it is. Here, the valve is a hollow shaft that covers a set of drain ports. When the piston is closed, oil cannot enter and the oil flow through the engine is described above. However, at low RPMs, the ECU energizes the port and opens the piston. This allows incoming oil to be diverted back into the sump. The result is a reduced flow of oil to the rest of the engine for lubrication. When the car is in a low power operation, as in like low RPM, low throttle input, the oil solenoid bypass valve opens up. The Nissan does it to eke out just a fraction of a bit better fuel economy so they can boost their fleet average. However, dating back to 2018, there's information on the infinity boards that this valve can fail in the open position, leading to oil starvation and catastrophic engine failure. Well, that sounds terrible. Now, to add to this, for those of y'all that like to modify your cars, which is like 90% of Z owners, as the horsepower goes up, the criticality of having adequate lubrication goes up as well, and therefore you run even a higher risk of failure. So if you look, I've got the car, it's already up on jack stands, and we're going to be installing a part. This one is from JAP Garage, and this is the oil solenoid bypass delete kit. As you can see, it's simply a block-off plate that has got a couple O-rings in it. So follow along guys, and let's get to it. The first thing we're going to do in this job is we're going to take off the driver's side front wheel. You could argue it's not necessary to get to the oil solenoid bypass valve, but it's going to create a lot more room for me to work under the car, especially considering that we are on jack stands in the garage. Now, it's always technique for me when I remove the tire. I usually take it and I just lay it down flat and set it underneath the vehicle by the jack stand. Alright, so we're good to go. Alright guys, welcome underneath my Nissan Z. So, we're going to take this front panel down. This is the same one that you'd undo the back of to do an oil change, or some people do take the entire panel down. But we need to get this out of the way because this has to be gone so we can access the engine underneath. So it's held on by 3 push rivets and then a series, I think it's 16 or 18 10 millimeters. Set this off to the side. So here's my oil pan. My drain plug is over here on the far side. So we're on the driver's side of the car. When I look up from the oil pan, now I have a manual transmission, and if you have a manual transmission, you are in luck because you don't have an automatic transmission oil cooler in the way, which would normally go in here. But we do have this bracket. Once we get this bracket out of the way, this right here where I'm pointing the tip of my screwdriver at, that is the oil solenoid bypass valve. Alright, not sure how we'll be able to see that. Let's get this in here. We'll get that out. So there's my wire harness. Is now disconnected from the bracket. And then these are 12 millimeter. So we're going to undo these 2 bolts, get this bracket out of the way, and we should be able to see this oil solenoid bypass valve pretty clearly then. Alright, so these weren't torqued on too tight. I'll be honest, they probably felt like they were about 15 foot-pounds. Nothing crazy. There's one bolt. Let's get the other one. Once again, these bolts are 12 millimeter. So now that it's out, we can see our oil solenoid bypass valve. This is it right here. It's got an electrical connector that can be kind of tricky to get to, and it's held in by one 10 millimeter. Now I should be able to unbolt that 10 millimeter and actually pull this solenoid out while it is still connected to the electrical connector. All right, happiness for me. If you take a look, I haven't disconnected the electrical connector, but I can get a socket in there, no problem. And you can see my socket wrench is in there with a 10 millimeter and about a 2-inch extension, and it fits right on in. Oh yeah, and it's not torqued on that tight either. It was, as I famously like to say, comfortably snug. Kind of at an odd angle. Wasn't getting the best grip on it, so hit with a little pair of pliers here to help jimmy it out. At this point, I should be able to just pull it right out. There she is. So once again, I'm zooming in on my oil solenoid bypass valve. And I'm doing that because I want to show there's a couple little pieces of debris right there on the end of it. And it's had oil changes at 1,200 miles, 3,000 miles, and 6,000 miles. And currently the car has, it's like 6,950 miles on it. Even with more frequent oil changes, there's still tiny bits of debris that are getting on the end of that inlet and in that screen, and it's only a matter of time when enough of those bits accumulate that when that valve cycles open, it jams it and it gets stuck in the open position. So I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad we're changing this valve out, but that right there is what can cause failures. I'm going to get my block off plate ready for install. So this is my new JA Performance Garage block-off plate. It has 2 O-rings on it. Nissan tells you anytime you remove that oil solenoid, or if you were to remove this for who knows what reason, you need to replace these O-rings. But this is brand new. It has brand new O-rings. I've got a little container here, and what's in this container is a little bit of brand new Modal 0W20 oil. And we are going to lube the O-rings, and that's going to help them to seat in place without rolling or pinching. So we're going to install our new blocking plate. We've oiled the O-rings. That's as simple as that. That new one's already in place. So at this point, we just need to reinstall our 10 millimeter bolt. There we go. All right, our bolt's installed. Might I suggest don't do this on a hot engine like I did. It's kind of a dumbass thing to do. And then we're gonna cinch this down. It's gonna be the standard of quote unquote snug. So we can take a look now. We can see that our new piece is in place. So that is our JA Performance Garage blocking plate, and it is now installed. On to the car. Obviously you can tell it's running. So far, I don't see any leaks coming out of our new solenoid bypass delete. So that's a good thing. All right, so we've let her run for about 5 minutes. I've got myself a brand new fresh clean paper towel. This is my way to hopefully minimize burning the shit out of myself. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to kind of rub it along the underside of the solenoid delete block off plate, because if there's anything leaking, even if it's slow, that's where I'm going to see it, and it's going to discolor this paper towel. And my paper towel is coming back clean, so I don't really have a leak going on. If I did, it'd probably be like pretty damn noticeable, to be honest. I'm going to take a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put my solenoid into the Ziploc bag, and I'm going to cinch it down like good and tight. Have it zip tied in a couple places, and at this point, I'm going to reinforce it with heavy-duty tape. We've got our new oil solenoid blocking plate is in place. I've got the old valve is zip tied out of the way. And we're to the point that we're going to reinstall our undershroud. We're going to put our driver's side front tire back on, torque it to 100 foot-pounds, and then we'll go take it for a test drive and see how she works. There we go. 10 millimeter bolts back in place. Specific torques back on them. Airflow that goes under the hood, as you speed up, actually starts pushing on the underside of the hood, and it lifts the front end. So if you're driving around 40, 50 miles an hour, you never notice. You take it over 100, you'll damn well notice. And for my time when I lived in Germany, if you get on the Autobahn, the Camaro that I have, I actually had to modify it and put under paneling in, because It was wanting to lift the front end up at 160 miles an hour, which is not cool. So that is the purpose of this pan underneath. Alright, last part of this job, aside from getting it off the jack stands, is going to be to get the tire back on. After we get our lug nuts tightened down by hand, then we're going to go back over it with a torque rod set to 100 foot-pounds. Alright, so the car is continuing to heat up. I'm just cruising along. I'm sitting here, I got 55, 56 PSI of oil. I like it. I'm definitely not lacking of oil pressure. I don't hear any funny noises going on. Just after we get done with the test drive, we'll make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay, so we've taken our Z on its test drive. So we took her about, it was between, I think we rode around 12 miles all said and done. The first thing I checked is this is the original oil solenoid bypass that we have zip tied and up out of the way. And what I wanted to make sure of is I wanted to make sure that my Ziploc bag and that my tape was holding up and it wasn't melting. It's warm, but everything's holding up and it's in good shape. My actual solenoid bypass block-off plate right here is in place and there's absolutely no leaks. We're pretty much complete with our job. We've done our test drive, we've looked underneath, we made sure there's no leaks. The very last thing I'm gonna do, and it's not a requirement, but I'm gonna do it because I'm curious, is I've got my Altel computer and I'm gonna run the codes on this car and make sure that I have no hard or soft code. Okay, so I've gone through the entire system on the car, every single computer and variable, and there are 0 codes of any kind in this car. So by leaving the electrical connector plugged in for that oil solenoid bypass, I can prove by using this Altel computer right here that there are no engine codes whatsoever. There's no engine codes that are setting off a service engine light. There are no engine soft codes that are putting a code in the system, but just not alerting me with the engine light. At this point in time, I would call this a win because I have got much more reasonable oil pressure. So I'm pretty cool with what I'm looking at. By comparison, for other cars, my Z28 Camaro, that also cruises with an oil pressure right around this range as well. So we're not seeing anything like crazy high or dangerous. This is what it should have been from the factory. This is what the oil pump is capable of. Just the Nissan had put that bypass in for the sole purpose of increasing that fleet fuel economy. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you for watching. I hope somebody found this informative. If you're thinking about doing this modification on your Nissan, hey, so far I like what I'm seeing. I'd be all for it. Hopefully it's helping you make a decision if you're considering this modification yourself. If nothing else, I hope you found it entertaining. And until next time, y'all take care.